I am the villain in somebody's story, and I'm perfectly okay with that. You are the villain in somebody's story, you're perfectly okay with that. Do you know why? Because not everyone is going to love you. I am sorry, but put that inside of your mind. Not everyone is going to love you. Me, I know there is certain people in the world somewhere, somehow, that they don't like me, and that's okay. Because if I am the villain in your story, I'm okay with that. But I know I am not the villain in my own story, because the stories I have about myself are more important than any story somebody else can have for me. You have to understand, in life there is seasons. There are things that I did in the past that I hurt the people, as me, I misbehaved, I did the wrong thing, I was wrong, I made the mistake, I felt, yes, I did those things in the past, and because I did those things, I learned from my wrong way of doing things. However, because certain people gonna keep the version of you from the past, from 10 years ago, from 20 years ago, from 5 years ago, they are going to remain with a version of yourself in where you were the villain in their life. And you have to be perfectly okay with that, because not everyone is going to love you. You are not money. I'm sorry. Not everyone is going to love you, and you have to be okay with that, because I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I fail. I do the wrong thing. I say the wrong thing, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay, because at least no matter the things I did somebody wrong, I can say, hey, it was my fault. I am sorry. But think about it. Some people never are going to forgive you, no matter how many times you apologize. And you have to be okay with that, so you can move on. So you can move on and you can distance yourself. Because if you have done something and somebody choose not to forgive you, okay, be okay with that. But you go within you and forgive yourself, so that experience does not hold you back. I am the hero in somebody else's story, and I am the villain in somebody else's story. But in my own story, I am not the villain of my life. I am the hero. I am the survivor. I am the person that loves me the most. I am the person that supports me the most. I am the person that believes in me the most. But because since I'm aware that me, I do wrong things, it can be in the past or it can be in the future, I'm aware of that. Do you know why? Because the dark side of me, still me. In the bright side of me, still me. The dark side of me is going to make somebody consider me a villain, and that's okay. And the bright side of me is going to see and going to make me consider myself a hero. Again, you are in somebody's story, you are the one who's wrong. You are the one who made a mistake, who did a bad decision. You are the one who hurt somebody. You are the one who broke the thing. In somebody's story, you are the villain, and be okay with that. Not everyone is going to love you. Certain people never grow past the version they have of you of 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 3 months. Some people don't understand that people evolve, people change. There are things that I did 10 years ago. That person ain't me anymore. But there are certain people that are going to come to my life and tell me, oh, do you remember when you did this to me? When we used to do this? I don't remember. That person is dead. You are talking to a version of me that no longer exists. A lot of people have the version of you in their mind that no longer exists. And you have to be okay with that, because we grow. Some people don't even grow. Some people don't allow themselves to reinvent themselves. Some people don't reinvent their mindset, don't reinvent their habits, don't reinvent their attitude. They don't reinvent their thoughts. Some people never grow because they want to remain with the same beliefs, with the same attitude, with the same habits, and that's okay. Because guess what? Other people growing is not your responsibility. It's their responsibility. And because you are not responsible of how somebody else choose to live their life. You are responsible of how you choose to live your life. But you are not responsible of how other people choose to live their life. The least you can do is accept, acknowledge your mistakes, acknowledge what you did wrong, acknowledge the part you play in the situation. Once you acknowledge and accept it, don't try to deny it or hide it or pretend as if you didn't do nothing wrong. No. Accept what you did wrong. Accept the part you are playing in that scenario and apologize. Because the moment you accept something You are aware of it and you apologize and then you move on. The person choosing to forgive you or not, that's on the person. That's on the person because you are in control of your actions, but you are not in control of how your actions are going to make somebody else feel. And that's completely okay. As long as you can be aware of what you do wrong, you can be aware of your mistakes, you can be aware of your failures, you can be aware of the things that you do that hurt somebody else, and you can apologize for that. You could. Remember, we are not perfect. We are not robot that we're gonna have everything right. No. And that's okay. Not everyone is going to love you. I am sorry. I know you wish everyone can love you, everyone can support you, everyone can believe in you, but that's not life. Everyone is not going to love you, and that's okay. You keep loving yourself. You keep believing in yourself. You keep supporting yourself. Even though I am the villain in somebody's story, I am not the villain to myself. And remember, certain people are keeping in their mind a version of you that no longer exists. Again, you are the villain in somebody's story, and that's perfectly okay. As long as you are not the villain of your own self, that's okay too. Yeah. We evolve, we grow, and we move on. We don't stay. We are wired to change. We are not a status. We are allowed to change, think different, behave different, apologize, and learn from our past. Because certain people are going to use your past just a way to remind you of the things you did wrong, of the pain you causes, of the mistake you make. They're going to use that past and then bring that past because they're trying to make you go back and be that person, but you ain't. You ain't got no business going back to being the person you were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago. You are not. Your past is dead. Whatever you did in the past, well, it was a learning experience, but you ain't got no business going back to your past. Your present is thinking about you, and your future needs you.